Yo, what up? My name's Antonio Kanja. This is Should We Do a Podcast? No, you can't catch up. You can't catch that in the background. So as long as we're like this, should be good. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can see the screen.
Yeah, that's good though.
Are you pulling up?
Can I put something on there?
Photoshop.
I was gonna pull up Premiere. It's not ready. It's not loading yet.
Anyways, welcome back to the pod. This is the show where
welcome back.
Welcome to the pod for the first time.
First episode, inaugural episode.
Trying to find out if we should do a podcast. This is Should We Do a Podcast? I'm your host, Antonio, and today we have
Edmon Jiddou.
All right. So Edmon, we're gonna start off how we always start off. How do you feel about podcasts?
All right, where do I start? If you know me at all, I always bring up Joe Rogan. He's one of my favorite podcast hosts, just like any other bro out there. No, I listen to a ton of podcasts. To be honest, I don't know any current day music. Like you ask me about like what's on the radio right now, I have no idea.
Nothing.
Literally, my girlfriend gets like pissed off at me because I don't listen to anything but podcasts.
Really? Okay, top 3 podcasts. Well,
not
counting Joe Rogan.
Okay, so like I'm in a comedy podcast mode right now. So Theo Von, Chris D'Elia, it's probably my top 2. Rogan. Once in a while, I get some like entrepreneur stuff. Zach Kravitz is good, but yeah, not like motivational stuff. Chris D'Elia is another comedian.
Chris D'Elia, he's the one who did
the girlfriend skit.
He's the one who did the Eminem thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's the one that cameoed on Eminem's video.
Yeah, it was a Logic video, but he played Eminem in it.
Wasn't Eminem on it though? He was on.
Yeah, he was on the song, but
he was.
I don't think he was in the video.
That tells you what I know about music, bro.
Right.
Literally, like pre 2011. That's probably when I fell off, bro.
Gee.
I'll be honest. Anything past 2011, I couldn't tell you.
Let the record show that this is being recorded in 2019. So that's 8 years you haven't listened to
unless
music?
it's like top 5, and maybe I'll listen to it like maybe at Vreeland. Maybe if it's on Vreeland's like radio
they
station.
play his country.
That's literally it. I did fall into a country kick. Sam Hunt, 2016, 17. That's me. I was there too.
I was
there too.
That's 6 years.
Horses,
6 years unaccounted for.
17. Yeah, that's me. So as far as podcasts though, yeah, they've kind of like taken over my life.
So I just recently.
This is awkward.
I know.
What do I do with this
eventually I'll get stands, but they don't fit in the bag.
You're doing it even weirder than I am. I'm good. Just
all right. So I just recently saw Theo Von's
this past weekend
podcast.
or King of the Sting.
No, this is like an old. No, it's an old one. It's
Oh, you watched the special?
No, I don't know what it was. His podcast because he was talking to Bill Burr.
This is just the most. He had him on 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. So I saw clips of it, and Bill Burr was roasting his ass.
Can I say something,
please?
Okay, as far as comedy goes,
because I didn't like Theo Von.
So, as far as comedy goes, I wasn't. I like comedy just like anybody else, but I wasn't a huge comedy fan until like more recently. But Bill Burr and this like Louis C.K. They say they're like the legends of comedy right now. They're the kings of comedy. Besides like the
Chappelle, and
the Chappelles and the
Dane Cook,
Kevin Hart's and Dane Cooks. Dude, Bill Burr, I saw his past 2 specials. Didn't flinch once, bro. Like not a thing. I don't think he's funny at all. Dry humor, dirty humor, whatever.
He's got a weird thing because I went after I saw the Theo Von podcast.
Did you watch his Netflix special?
No, I didn't watch his recent one. I watched an older one. I don't even know what it was called, but I watched like the first maybe 20 minutes, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know. He seemed like a cool guy to like I would want to
Burr.
Yeah. Because I didn't
having a beer with Burr, that's fine, but I'm not paying $100 to watch Bill Burr. I don't think he's funny.
I didn't like Theo Von though at all. I thought he was. Okay. I thought he was like he made me uncomfortable.
If that was the one podcast you listen to get like a grasp of how Theo Von is, that's not the one.
Yeah, definitely not the one.
But then again,
because the title of the video was Bill Burr roast Theo Von.
Yeah, so if you're watching like a clip where it's pulled out of context, it's kind of silly. You've never seen any other Theo Von stuff?
But I kind of want to.
So
just because I want to see both of them, see who they were. Because Bill Burr just looked like an asshole.
No, so Theo Von, and Theo's spoken on that afterwards. You know, he had some questions. People saying like, "How'd you feel about the Bill Burr interview?" Because it was kind of a big deal.
I watched that video too, and that video made me like Theo Von even less. Because he's reading the questions. He's like, "What did you get out of meeting with him?" And he's like, he said the same thing about 6 times. He's like, I got what I got out of it. I'm like, what does that mean? You're not answering the question.
Yeah, well, here's the thing that's like attractive to Theo is he's very genuine. He's not like staged. He's not like commercial. He's not like I don't know. He's like your everyday's man, but he's got that southern charm. He's charismatic and like some weird.
I didn't like the mullet either.
Dude, the mullet's the best part. That's the best part. That's his trademark.
That's it. That is.
So he
his
went from
thing.
like looking like. He looked like Tom Brady in his early comedy days. Like if you see his Netflix
Brady.
special,
Oh.
which totally bombed, like it didn't do anything for him.
I thought
but
you were
think it
talking
was-
about Tom Brady's comedy days. I was
No,
like,
so Theo's actually like if you look at him, he's a handsome dude, right?
Yeah.
But he's got that mullet, which kind of gives him like a silly look.
Yeah.
It makes him like approachable. But that's definitely like his coolest thing, dude. If I had hair like you, I'd fucking rock out a mullet too. I would definitely do a Theo Von mullet. That's what they call it. He's bringing it back single-handedly.
the mullet. Him and
Theo
Riff
Von.
Raff.
Yeah, Riff Raff.
You don't-
Which, by the
do you know who
they
Riff Raff is?
They went on a pod together. We talked about this.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
They had
if
an
you knew
interview
who-
like.
Well,
months
Riff
ago.
Raff is recent, within the last like
I do love
60 years.
Okay, the reason I know Riff Raff is because Theo.
Because Theo Von. They look.
went on
I
his-
saw Theo Von that one video, and I was like, this guy looks exactly like Riff Raff.
Theo or not Theo? Riff Raff and Stitches. Are they the same dude?
No,
the
different
same
guys.
dude.
Stitches is from
See,
California.
that's what tells you I know. They look like the
Stitches
same
has
dude,
got.
right? See,
He's
to
got
me,
the Joker.
Wasn't he from Miami though?
Yeah, he is. I was gonna say
Because
California,
now Riff
but he's
Raff
from.
is in Miami or Florida. Maybe I got him confused. Because
No.
Riff Raff's not an asshole, but Stitches like talks a lot of shit.
Stitches is an asshole.
Talks a lot of shit.
I don't know.
If you-
Don't
if you-
Stitches.
don't-
If you hear this, don't come for me. I don't know you. I don't know.
I heard he talks a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And I heard he got his ass beat outside of an airport.
By the game, I think. I think it was the
Somewhere.
game that beat the shit out of him.
So he got his ass beat somewhere. So to me, I'm like, hey, talking shit, can't back it up. Here,
Yeah,
so.
but he's huge.
That's
He's
fine, bro.
giant. I mean, it doesn't matter.
He ain't
but-
coming to Detroit. Where's he at? Which camera am I looking at? The All Smoke? He ain't coming. Come see
So
me.
Theo Von, yeah, no.
Okay, so top
I really
comedians right now.
wanted to ask you about Theo Von because I know I didn't watch enough to get.
This is gonna sound like I
A
got a
whole
crush on
thing.
him. We got to get over.
No, I know.
Theo
Okay,
Von.
anyways.
But I do like speaking on Theo Von because I want everybody to like give him a shot, and if you don't like him, cool, no big deal.
Yeah.
But he's getting a lot of momentum. He's been on the scene for like He was on Road Rules Challenge back in the day. Do you remember Road Rules? Maybe past your time.
No.
It was like 8 reality TV. People,
Past my time, it was before my time.
Before your time. On like an RV, and they would travel the country, just
No.
doing stand-up random bullshit. He started there. He did the challenges, the MTV challenges, and now he's like a comedian. So I lost him for like 12 years. I don't know where the hell. It's not like that I was tracking
Yeah.
him, but I thought he fell
You're
off,
on the
right?
Theo Von.
And then where did I find him? He was
On
he
the
was
pod.
on Rogan. So like
Oh
that's
my
how this podcast stuff works, right? You hear somebody and you're like, I like this dude.
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
me find his pod, and that's where I find everybody.
Yeah.
It's
But
like a
everybody's
trickle down.
okay. So if
So
everybody
Rogan's
stems
their
from Joe
daddy.
Rogan,
Rogan's their daddy. Actually, that's like Chris D'Elia's bit, but Rogan's literally the dad, and then all of them are their kids, and that's where I fall.
okay. So if everybody stems from Rogan from you, because
Yeah.
every time I hear podcasts and you, all I think of is Joe Rogan. How did
Because I'm the only guy you know that's like into podcasts
that
heavy.
rocks with
Heavy.
Joe Rogan that hard? But how did you find Joe Rogan?
Where's my phone? No, dude, I've been a fan of Rogan for a while.
Because he used to do stand up
Right,
too.
the first thing that popped up was some Theo Von shit.
Shit.
I'll tell you right now. Where are we at? Okay, this past weekend, Joe Rogan. Okay, Joey Diaz, which is a Rogan. He used to open up for Rogan. Fighter and the Kid.
That's
Brendan Schaub.
Theo Von, right?
That's Schaub and Brian Callen, which
Oh.
I saw in California last weekend.
Oh no way.
A little Ramblin' Radio. King of this thing. That's the one Theo's on with Brendan. Hilarious. That's a good one. If you just want like a bite-sized Theo and comedy, watch King of this thing. That's a great one.
King of the Sing. Okay, cool. Because I feel like I need to at least give it another shot. Because him and Bill Burr.
Dude, give him another shot. Give him
Yeah.
another shot. All right, so to break away from podcast, but talk about podcast too. Why did you feel that you needed to have one? Because you already know how I feel about podcasts. I'm a huge fan. I want one. I'd like to run one.
I did this. What 3 years ago now? As like for the radio station in college.
Right.
And I thought it was cool, but I like would just play music and like talk about the music, and
You're a DJ. You're a music DJ.
Yeah.
That kind of talked more than you should have. Kind of talked.
yes,
DJ
I
that
played
just
music, but
talked
would
a lot.
put myself in there because I feel like people needed to hear what I had
Yeah,
to say.
for sure. If you just
Which I
wanted
feel
to-
like that's everyone who does a podcast is a little bit narcissistic. You want people to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
But so I did that for a while, and I was like, I thought it was fun, and then it stopped, and people were like, "When's the podcast coming back?" I was like,
do they call it a podcast, or they just say like your
"No,
radio station?
no." Everyone said the
or-
radio show. I called it a
Radio
podcast. So to me, it makes sense to call it a podcast, and like you know what a podcast is, but like podcasts have only been getting big
By the
like
way-
in the past like 5.
People that call podcasts pod, which I've heard you say.
I
and
call 'em
I
pod.
say it from time to time. I want to punch myself in the face. Like use the full term podcast.
Pods.
Pod's annoying. That's annoying.
Well, I've heard when you say pod, people think of like
Tide Pod?
like oh no, I was thinking,
Tide Pod?
that's a good one, Jewel pods.
Oh, that too. Which, by the way, Juuls are banned now.
Are
So
they?
real
I thought it was
markets-
just the flavored.
Your dad owns a liquor store.
No, I
You
know.
don't know that.
But I thought it was just the flavors.
Everything menthol down. So regular classic tobacco is all you can buy. Who's buying classic tobacco Juul pods? Not your 18-year-olds, not your 17-year-olds.
So all the flavors.
Fucking little Cynthia ain't smoking Juul pod fucking tobaccos. Yeah, all the flavors. So
Virginia tobacco.
it's killing a lot of
Little
business.
Susie.
It's killing a lot of business. Anyway, pods.
Pods. There you go.
So you wanted to start one. Why? So you had your radio station.
So people ask, they're like, "Oh, where's the podcast?" And I like 2 people asked. They're like, I figured people are being nice, like,
Right.
"Oh, like
Casual
it-
conversation.
It was a cool, yeah, like something just to talk about, but like, not like every single person I talked to, but like a good amount of people were like,
Yeah.
"When's the podcast coming back?" And I like asked my girlfriend. I was like, "People keep asking me about it." She's like, "It's because it's easier to like digest than a video." Because like I did YouTube for a while, and I haven't made a video in a while. Nobody's really asking about those.
I ask about it all the time.
Well, you do, but like
bug you about it
we
once
do
in a while.
this
Right,
kind of
right.
stuff together.
And that's how you know that maybe that you had a bigger bigger audience that was actually into it than you
Yeah,
thought.
and so like after she said that, I was like, maybe people were listening. Maybe people did want to hear what I have to say.
Right.
So I was like, I thought about it for a while, and I was like, oh, should I just do the music thing? It was kind of easy, and it's super easy to do, but I don't know. I kind of like tooled around with a bunch of ideas, and so now I'm trying to see if should we do a podcast.
Yeah. So that's the premise of this deal right
The
here.
premise of it is trying to find a host.
So you're
or
interviewing me
co-host.
right now.
Yeah. So
I will let you know if this is an interview. I've only gone on one interview I'm 34 years old, been on one interview. Do you know what
Really?
that one job that I had to interview for was? And I've had 5 jobs. One with your dad. Your dad hired me for 10 years of my life.
so you didn't get no interview for that.
No.
So
What, do you know my other jobs?
no, I know you worked for Delphi. You worked at the store.
When I was in high school, I had a job
What?
at Petco. I was a sales associate for Petco in Troy, dude.
You didn't
Took
get
care of the birds, the lizards, the small animals, which is the hamsters, the germ.
and you didn't
gerbils,
get
the
interviewed for that?
That's the one job I had interviewed for.
Oh, so you didn't even have to interview for Delphi?
No.
What? Okay,
Delphi
so
was like a handshake and a wave.
okay, so you said you had 5 jobs. That's 3. What are
When
the
I
other 2?
say Petco.
Petco,
Vreeland,
Vreeland, Delphi.
Delphi. Well, now I work at Aptives. Technically, that's 2 jobs. That's 4 jobs. No, I had a 5th. No, I worked at Tower Automotive with Amir for 2 weeks, welding frames. They fired me because I sucked at it. I sucked at welding. Dude, no, it's a true story. So I'm welding, and they put me on like the girls' line. So like the girls would torque down the bolts with these power tools that stopped at a certain torque percentage.
Yeah.
So that was like the first 2-3 days you work there. They put you on the girls' line. I'm there with like 4 or 5 other girls. You know,
Yeah.
no Me Too stuff, just regular working. And they take me off the line. They're like, "All right, you ready to weld?" I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." I had like 2 days of welding experience. Amir gave me the crash course, and I got the job because I knew him.
Yeah.
So it's like a real fully functioning assembly line.
Yeah.
And you get like 3 seconds to weld this little spot weld on an arm, and put the visor down. And as soon as you put a visor down, anybody that knows welding, everything goes pitch black until you hit the torch. So I hit the trigger, the thing starts glowing, and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know, might be like 17. I'm hitting it, moving this thing around. And you're not supposed to have this much motion when you weld. It
Yeah,
should be like
it's
a
supposed to
nice,
be like-
smooth weld. It's supposed to move, but very
Yeah.
minusculely. Anyway. 10 frames later, the line shuts down. Red lights going on everywhere. The freaking supervisor's coming around. He's checking everybody. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Eventually, they find out the
Yeah.
weak point. It was me. They pulled me off that line. They say, come here, come here, come here. They put a broom in my hand, a little dustpan in my hand. 2 days later, I got the pink slip. So they're like, you're done. You're done. So that's my actual real job. And I didn't do an interview for that job either.
So all of them have just been someone there,
You just
except
know
for Petco.
No, that is literally how you get any job in this real
Yeah,
world.
that makes sense.
Like, unless you're like, I don't know, applying at a hospital or being a nurse or something, dude, you get your job by people you know.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Except for Petco.
Except Petco.
So doctors.
I did know somebody there too.
So doctors and Petco.
yeah, doctors and sales associates at Petco. Yeah, I love that job by the way. I take that job back.
Really?
Your dad made me quit that place
Really?
because he got pissed that I worked that Christmas weekend. I took that weekend off because I had to work at Petco. He gave me the week off at Vreeland.
You were taking care of the
He fired
gerbil?
me for the week, bro. I swear to God.
Really?
And he goes, "You want to work there? You want to work here?" And I was like, "I don't know, Uncle Bill. I like animals, bro. Maybe I want to be a marine biologist." He's
Really?
Like, "No, you come back." I really did. So he
Oh.
dashed my dreams and my paycheck at Petco.
Damn.
Same day.
So did you have to? How'd you quit at Petco?
I stopped showing up. No, I did. Okay, so my buddy Jared, one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Jared Bobkin, by the way, Hell's Kitchen. Do you watch it?
No.
Ever watched it? Do you know the show? It's a
Hell's
cooking,
Kitchen is Gordon Ramsay, right?
Gordon Ramsay's like a contest show where you try to be a sidekick or something. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But my buddy Jared Bobkin, unbeknownst to me, was on that show. I found out later. He was also my manager at Petco.
Wow.
Not a manager. We were on the same level, but they liked him more.
So
if that makes sense.
So you're both sales associates.
He was night shift manager. That's what it was. And they put him in charge of night shift. So it was me, him, and Hal, my buddy Hal. Hal, if you're listening to this, I don't know where you're at, bro. I hope you're doing well. I know Jared is. One time we put a feeder fish out of the feeder. You know what a feeder fish is?
No. Is that the one that
the one that you
sticks
feed,
to the side?
No, a feeder fish is a real goldfish that you feed to bigger fish to eat.
Oh,
it's literally
no.
a feeder. It's food for bigger fish.
Okay.
So there would just be a tank full of them, hundreds of them, but they're all like dying within the week because they're all just like really bad genetics.
Yeah.
So we had a vending machine with like Coke and Pepsi. Dude, we're fucking assholes. I can't remember. We're saying the story. Hal knows this, so it's not like we're breaking secrets here. I bought him a Coke out of the vending machine, and we're bored at night. There's no customers. We're assholes.
Yeah.
Crack a Coke. Me and Jerry are like, dude, put one of them feeder fish in there, bro. Take a feeder fish. The boy's still moving. Put it in there. We all got cans. You know, we walk up to the register. Hal's at the register this day. Hey, I got you a Coke, bro. I got you a Coke. So we're sitting back watching. Worst day of my life, bro. I felt immediate regret the second he drank it, bro. Because it had fish oil, fish juice was all in the Coke. I don't know. I feel bad. I still feel about it to this day. 34 years old, still feel bad about it.
Damn.
Feeder fish in the Coke story.
You feel worse for the feeder fish or for Hal?
He was dead. I think he died the second. The second you put a feeder fish in Coke, he dies.
I'm pretty
There's
sure.
too much sugar.
I'm not a marine
happens.
biologist, but I think that
I think when
makes
they drink it, I don't think they can survive in Coca-Cola, bro. That shit, like, it'll take rust off of chrome, bro. It'll.
They weren't messing around when they
it'll
made
spit
that.
shine
You know, there used to
Chevy.
be Coke in it, like actual Coke.
Yeah, back in the day. That's why it's cocaine.
Nuts. Okay.
Where did I go with that? So Petco.
So you're
Hal.
Petco.
Oh, Jared. He was my boss. How'd I quit?
You just texted. Oh no, this is before. You didn't text.
Before
nobody.
texting, bro. No, I had a phone. He texted me, and I was like, "Oh, here's how big a bullshitter I am." I told him I was coming in. He was like, "Dude, you didn't show up last week, or you didn't show up Friday, Saturday. Can you come? I really need you Sundays. Just me and you and Hal, or whoever the fuck was on the shift." I was like, "Yeah, bro, I'll be there," knowing damn well I wasn't gonna be there, bro. And I feel really bad about it. I've worked on it, and I'm better at it now. But long story short, took him about a week. They didn't put me in the schedule anymore. I can't work at Petco ever again.
You're blacklisted,
I'm
from
blacklisted
Petco.
from Petco. I could probably go to PetSmart. PetSmart will probably hire me, but not Petco. I guess that's why I got to do this entrepreneurship shit. I think my beer's ready.
Okay. That brings me to what I actually wanted to talk about. Oh my god, I'm crying.
Yeah.
That's so funny. What I wanted to actually ask you about. So like we do this kind of stuff, YouTube stuff, but like.
By the way, I see you're at you broke the 100 mark.
Hell yeah!
So you actually 103, something like that.
Honestly,
you're gaining.
honestly,
you haven't put up any videos. I check on you regularly.
Yeah, I need to get onto. Maybe this will be posted.
Put it on. I love it.
But so I figure like you do this kind of entrepreneurial stuff. Like you had a couple of businesses like yourself. Besides like
I'm trying to think what I did
besides
before like
Petco.
before this stuff too. I feel like selling stuff, making stuff was always like before this. It was car stuff. I was working on people's cars, side money, little side projects. I was like making money.
Yeah.
I never had money as a kid, so I was like making it.
But then you liked making money.
Well, of course, yeah. I had a job since I was 12.
No, I know, but you're just like I'm sitting right next to you, and I couldn't understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So
I like making money.
Oh, okay. That's the sound bite.
A lot of people are like scared to talk about money. So I find when I talk to my friends about making money or doing things to start it, they get real nervous. They change the subject. I've always liked to make money.
So like, so one of your first things? Well, can you take me back to like one of the first?
Oh God, what first things of what? Like,
I
didn't have like a lemonade stand or any cheesy shit like that.
Not like that. But like, so right now you do like the whole screen printing stuff.
All right. So my girl makes T-shirts and apparel. I do like vinyl and stuff like that. Sell it online. Yeah.
Merch for this episode coming soon.
Yeah. So anybody's merch stuff that you need, link down below.
Ghost Graphics. Shouts out to Ghost Graphics.
Yeah. So that's my company.
So is that you, Ghost?
Yes, so Ghost Graphics is my LLC. That's like my parent company. But then I do a lot of stuff under that that you don't have to like be branded under, but it's a lot of the work that I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, fuck, where?
Yeah. So entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Well, you're technically trying to be one too, right? You just graduated. What do you?
I guess.
You don't want to go back and work for dad at the liquor store, right?
I mean, I love it. I love working at the store. I love making pizzas and stocking shelves, not talking to customers.
Right.
But I mean, I guess I like doing this stuff a lot more. I work with cameras, and it's weird. It's a weird thing to like. I guess I have my own business.
Yeah.
But like not like to the scale of
Dude,
like
you
somebody
graduated, and in the last 2 weeks, you've gotten more jobs than you've had in 2 years as far as freelance camera work, right?
Hell yeah. So in my eyes, I think
congrats to that.
that's like that's wild to me because the first time I got paid to take pictures for somebody who wasn't like
A family friend.
or like somebody slide me like $20.
Right.
I was
or,
like,
hey, do it for experience. Don't just I'll tag
And
you
like-
in this photo.
nobody ever tags you. Let me just get that off your off
Even
my
they do
chest.
tag you. What
Nobody
does that mean?
fucking tags you.
Photo credit.
But people tag me now. Like they didn't tag me. They're like, hey, just take my picture real quick. I'll be like, yeah, I'll just edit it and do
Right.
this. And like nobody does it. But like it's weird. It's super weird to me. Like I stood there and I had like $100 in my hand and I was like, this is from knowing something. So I don't know. Like I think it's cool, especially considering I like didn't know how to do any of this like 3 years ago.
In
4 years
hindsight,
ago.
besides your fancy degree and paperwork and your parents being proud and happy, the skills that you've developed and learned, do you feel like you've taught yourself more than you've learned in the classroom, or do you think the classroom helped?
Oh my God, 100%.
So just like doing it?
Oh my God. So I picked up the camera by accident. Like I made a whole movie about it. You've seen Fuck It.
Yeah.
Fuck It. My movie. Watch it.
Did enjoy it.
But I picked it up on accident, and like I was just looking at a picture that I took, like Demi when he saw me when he helped me take a picture. I was like, he's like, do you already do this? I was like, no, I've never touched a camera in my life besides like taking a Snapchat or like a picture of whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, because like you're.
Were you telling you, he got an eye for it or something?
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, you have an eye
Was
for
he
it.
hitting
He's
on
like,
you too? Was he?
No, it's Demi. You fucking know Demi. He's like, you got an eye for it. Like your composition is good. That's what he said. Like your composition is good.
And you can't teach that. It's something that you can just like kind of have or you don't.
Yeah, and I didn't even know what that meant. And like now looking at a picture that I just took, I'm like, I understand what composition is now.
Mm-hmm.
So like, honestly, I just picked it up from like I would tell people in school like, don't wait to learn it here. I was like,
Yeah.
the professor's going to show you the same videos that you could go home and watch and do it tonight.
Oh, for sure. And it's just college puts all that in one place for you. It's broken down into modules and easy to digest, I guess. If you're that kind of person, then that's cool. More power to you.
Yeah, and I realized while I was doing that in my 4th year of college that I wasn't that. I mean, I guess I knew I wasn't that person in the first year.
I knew, yeah.
But
I
like,
still
I
did
had
it
to
for years.
Like I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, picked up a camera, and like literally would just click every button on the thing and be like, oh, so that does that. Google it, and like that's how I figured everything out.
How you were with a camera is how I was with Photoshop, and like it's got tons of buttons and interface, and you just mess around with it and learn as you go. But isn't it funny how a camera now, at least when I was going to high school, you were like some weird artsy nerd maybe, where now it's like popularized or romanticized, like holding a camera, being a photographer is kind of like the shit,
everyday thing.
Like,
and
between YouTubers, vloggers, and
I think that's still like that to a degree, because like even Tommy, like our cousin, he's like, oh, what are you just taking black and white artsy pictures? And I'm like, no, like I don't do that. And like now, and like sometimes I'll throw pictures in black and white. I'll be like, damn, this does like
everything looks good in black and white.
I get it. It does look artsy.
Dude, you take a picture of that table over there in black and white.
Black and white, throw some bullshit caption. You can sell that in TJ Maxx.
Put it in a Walmart picture frame.
But yeah, no, I think it is like
it's the new. I don't want to call it the new rock star, but it's definitely a new like entrepreneur avenue.
Yeah,
you can make money and not just be like a wedding photographer. Because when I used to see a camera, what do you shoot weddings?
Yeah.
You know? Now it's like, oh, you can be a vlogger. You're trying to make documentaries. Which, by the way, we got to do a doc.
We still got to do. Maybe we could talk about it now. Maybe this is the time to talk about it.
Like I want to do a doc, but like the theme of one, I don't want to be narcissistic and say like I want to do a doc on like my business journey or like creating a brand.
That's what I did, and I felt really narcissistic. But let me tell you, at the end, the process of it is very therapeutic. Like you feel good, and then once I finished it, like I worked on it for like 2 months straight. Like I did not think of anything else. 2 months every single day from the second I woke up to the second I passed out at night.
Yeah.
That's all I thought about. And then once I finished it, I was like,
yeah,
I can breathe. Like it just felt good. Maybe that's just me finishing something because I can't stick to anything. So maybe that was just me finishing something. But like, I think we should do it.
Did you reenact a lot of the early scenes in that? Because I feel like a lot of those were not like faked or anything, but reenacted because you didn't shoot them when they were happening.
Yeah. So the one scene that everybody talks about that I've been like asked a bunch of times, like, you know, the scene where I like walk up and everybody closes their books.
Yeah. Did that really happen or whatever?
Yeah, that really happened.
Yeah.
And people are like,
because that looked dramatized too, and I was like, that seems like something you'd watch in 13 Reasons. Everybody trying to close
and
their
it's
book
crazy because I remember sitting there in the library and it actually happening, and me being in my head like, this didn't fucking happen. This is too much of like a movie. I was like, this doesn't happen in real life. Yeah. And literally everybody walked away, and I'm literally just standing there. I looked around and nobody said anything, and I was like, this is too fake. Like, this is fake right now.
I'm trying to think of the scenario again. That was
okay. So
give me a little context for that shot again.
So even for the people who haven't seen it and are just like listening to it, so the movie Fuck It is about my college experience and how it was kind of tough for me, but all in all, good experience, and I learned a lot about myself and about, I guess, this stuff through it. So the scene that I'm talking about is I come up to my friends at the time who were my best friends in high school, and they were in their own program, and I still was figuring out what I was doing. And I walk up, I had my backpack and everything. I was all chipper. I was like, hey, guys. And they all look at me, and they go, we got to go. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, we got to leave. We can't get anything done while you're here. And they all close their books, get up, and walk away. And I'm just standing there.
And the reason for that was?
So in real life, they were – because, like, when I put that in there, I wasn't – because people ask me, they're like, oh, is this like a fuck you to them? And I'm like, no, it wasn't a fuck you to anybody. This is just what happened, and it was like it was very real, very like – I want to say cathartic, but I don't know exactly what that word means.
I was just about to say, I could be Jamie and pull it up.
Yeah, look it up.
Continue.
Look it up real quick.
You say lethargic?
Cathartic. That's what it was. Cathartic. It was very cathartic for me, but I don't know.
Cathartic, providing psychological relief through the open expression of strong emotions.
Oh my gosh.
Catharsis.
Yes. So it was very cathartic to me.
Good use.
To
good
like
use of that word.
Reenact that, because like I remember having my friends from the video club helped me shoot that scene because I asked them, and the guy who said it, nicest guy on the face, like one of the nicest guys I know. And he when he said the line, it hurt me to hear it because I just like it brought all those emotions back and like me being in that place again. And it was just like he said it to me, and I literally like I shut down for a minute. So like the reaction you see in the movie is genuine, and I was so hurt, and I felt. And he's like, so I like froze there for a minute, and there's literally all of my friends are standing there, like they're sitting at the table, they're all looking at me.
Yeah.
Literally, like Demi's sitting there filming, and he's like looking at me, and everybody's like, "Are you okay?" And I like stood there for a second.
Oh, at the reenactment, you like relived it.
At the reenactment, and I'm literally like sitting there, like I had a pit in my stomach. I kind of have a pit in my stomach, like talking about it. But I'm like standing there, and I'm like, I'm like choked up.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is. Like, I felt this. And then I, like, snapped. I was like, yeah, that was good. I was like, let's keep going. I was like, that was really good. And they're like, they're like, I remember Demi coming up to me after. He's like, dude, do you want to do that again?
You touched some
yeah, he's
deep
like,
down shit.
He's like, you look. I was like, how did that look? I asked Demi. I was like, super
Did you just do one shot, one take?
One shot, one take. I asked him. I was like, how did that look? He goes, dude, you looked really upset. I was like, I was. And I was like, that's good. Like, that was, because it was genuine. It felt so real. And, so like it wasn't a fuck you to anybody, and like people ask me, they're like, how do they feel about it? I'm like, I don't know, I haven't talked to them about it because.
And was it like specific people that you picked out? Like, this is Cynthia, that's Tom, this is Kevin, that's Demi.
What's funny is I was gonna ask them to replay.
So the people
themselves.
that play their characters are not themselves.
No.
Okay.
But I was gonna.
There was other kids in that class at that time.
Huh?
It was just other kids in that room at the time.
It was the people who delivered the lines were my friends now.
Okay, gotcha.
So like I asked them, I was like, hey, can you run these lines for me? And they're like, yeah, but what's this about? I was like, we have to run it, and I'll explain it after.
Yeah,
and they're like, they saw it, and they're like, holy shit, I can't believe we did this. And I was
Damn,
like, yeah.
Okay.
So like it wasn't a like I've had people ask me like, oh, that was fake. That didn't really happen. I'm like, it really happened.
That was pivotal enough for you to put in the movie.
It was huge to the point where when it was actually happening in real life, I took a step back and I was like, this can't be real. This is a movie. This is before I ever picked up a camera, had been part of any video club, had ever taken a photography class. Like I was just upset and had nothing to do. And I was like, wow. Even back then I knew it was a movie. So like once I picked up the camera and I was like, I have to make this movie. And I was like, this is not, I was like, you can't write some of these moments. Like they just have to happen. So I say all of that to be like, this is like, maybe you don't have, maybe like you probably have one or two of those, but it's
I've had
like,
more than my share of those moments.
So they're like, they're really powerful, I guess. Because like people ask me after, they're like, why did you put that in there? They're like, why didn't you just skip over? I was like, because it was important. It was like a big, like you said, it was like a pivotal point. Because I remember sitting there and being like,
you didn't realize at the time.
No, I did realize that at the time. I was like, I didn't realize that I was going to make a movie about it. But I remember sitting there being like, I need to do something about this. I was like, because I can't keep doing this. I was like, if this happens again, I don't know. I'm crushed.
And we'll let the people listening check that out. That's on his YouTube.
Link in the description below. Check it out. But
what I did want to ask you that ties into that is, I think we spoke about this in other pods, which will be unnamed.
Yeah.
Unless you want to talk about the pods that we've previously.
We can talk about it after the break.
After the break. What kind of guy you were in high school? Whether you were like the average guy that floated through. You weren't like an athlete or anything. Not that I think.
No.
Were you like the clown? Were you kind of like a jokester? Did you even like have direction in high school? Because I knew you through reeling, but I didn't really ask you what the hell you were trying to do.
I had no direction.
You didn't want to be a freaking like video content creator. You weren't trying to be a creative.
I had no.
You weren't even an art kid. You didn't draw pictures.
No, that's what blows my mind about this now. And people say stuff to me like, "Oh, that's like, I can't believe you thought of it like that." I'm like, because I've never thought of myself as a creative person. Like even doing like this stuff, even taking pictures, like when people are like, "Oh wow, I love that you did that." I'm like, that it makes no sense to me because in high school, I never
like you didn't have that outlet. Like
I didn't sketch anything. I didn't draw anything. The only thing I did was listen to music. But even that, I just like I never made music. I never tried to. I mean, like, no. Nothing. I had zero direction.
I find that so strange. Like, I don't want to call myself a creative, but that's
you are.
Like, my family is. Like, my brother, my dad was, before he passed it to my brother. And then, but I guess if you had, like, a Ramon in your family, or you had an older brother that was a creative, you'd probably get a few things from him and, like, create your own shit. I've always been a creator. I've always made shit, whether it's, like, cars or working on them or like, artwork. And then it translated to, like,
to like actually doing stuff, and I like that's why I think this stuff is so crazy because I never in my life would have imagined this because I spent high school thinking that I was so uncreative and it made me it kind of upset me, but I guess I hung with people who I thought were interesting looking. Like
interesting looking? Were they ugly?
No, not interesting looking, but like hanging out with people who I thought were interesting.
More interesting than you to like rub off on you.
I think that's what it was.
You hang out with cool people, you become
not even
cool
cool people. Like people who like watched anime, like who drew. Like if somebody could like do that stuff, I'm literally like
you're attracted to it.
I was the one who
always
like, looking
wanted to. You just
I wanted
didn't have
to
that
so
outlet.
bad. I just had no idea.
You didn't think you had it.
No, and then now I'll like try stuff, and I like.
And you're gonna be terrible at shit when you start.
100%. And what's funny is like looking back, I remember like in elementary school, I remember like sketching in notebooks and like doing all this stuff, and then I'm like,
everybody doodled.
Yeah, and I think at the time I was looking, I was like, this is like, it's just a doodle, it's nothing. Yeah, and I just be like, whatever. But yeah, kind of, I never thought I was this kid, and now I am. Now I just always loved cartoons. That's the only thing that has been constant.
Movies and cartoons. I think everybody can agree.
Bright colors and.
But at some point, somebody makes those movies and cartoons. That shit doesn't just appear.
Yeah.
So why not be the creator? Why not be the person who sparks that?
And that's what I think now. I'm like, because I think back and be like, I never was this kid. Even sometimes now, like I feel like I'm still not that creative. But then I'll like do something. I'll be like, well, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But somebody else does. And
Like, look what you brought over to my house today. I called you just to do some quick B-roll, and you're like, dude, I'm gonna bring all the equipment.
3 cameras.
Bring 3-4 cameras,
lens.
all this computer equipment.
So I don't know.
No, it's cool, man.
It's kind of
It's cool.
But
So, what else is the structure of this podcast you're creating?
All right, so we're gonna go to a break real quick just to take some peas. I got a pee.
Pee break.
Pee break, and then we'll come back.
Cool.
All right, so. Hey there, it's Antonio. This commercial is brought to you by me. If you like the podcast and you want to see other stuff, you should check out my website. I got pictures from a bunch of my trips, all of my vlogs, my short films, and some other stuff. Like these, and these. So if you want to get any of them, they're on the website too. Appreciate it, because right now, it's just me wearing them. So that's all I got. Back to the pod.
All right.
All right, so only I peed, but it still counts as a pee break.
Yeah. And sorry, by the way, I'm getting over a cold, so I'm trying to chase it down with some Gatorade and cough through this podcast.
That's okay, I keep coughing too. But so anyways, so we're going to launch into a segment that I wanted to do for this. Okay. So we've been talking about pods you listen to, podcasts you listen to. So I wanted to do a little fuck one, kill one, marry one.
Ooh, nice.
Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn.
There's girl podcasting, bro. Put Nikki Glazer on there. Okay, we'll do all dudes. Just make it funny. Glazer. Make it funny.
And
Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn.
I don't want to say Bill Burr because I don't know anything about Bill Burr. Let's just throw Riff Raff in there.
I'll put Stitches in there, dude.
Stitches. No, Riff Raff.
All right, Riff Raff. You know, Riff Raff's actually hilarious, and I like everything about the dude. Like, ever since that Theo interview.
Have you ever listened to his music?
No, never.
Oh, my God.
I know he's got, like, multiple, like, what do they call them? Like, personalities.
So bad.
What's he rap under? Like, Dale D'Antoni? That's his close. He's got, like, three people he, like, works
no, he's got a bunch. He's got so many different names. And honestly, I love all of his music, but it's hard to listen to.
Is it just, I heard he produces though. He just does like the beats and stuff, right?
No,
he raps over his own stuff too.
His first album is actually pretty good. He's got a lot of sweet people on it, but like I listened to his first album is The Neon Icon. The second one is Peach Panther. And I remember going to Target and buying Peach Panther.
Okay.
And I like got in my car.
Isn't that funny? You used to buy just buying CDs is crazy.
I throw the CD in, and I remember I was like, I'm gonna drive around all day until I listen to this, and it was only like 14 tracks. So I was like, it's like an hour of driving. So I listened to it top to bottom.
Okay.
By the time I got to the last track, I literally had to go home and take a nap because I was like, this is too much.
Now what is it, right? So he's not a struggling rapper. He does well. The guy has money. He's caked up.
He's
but
got
is he very like a niche rapper where like it's almost like a certain genre of people like him?
I don't really know how to
genuinely. Who goes to his shows? Like who's a Riff Raff fan?
I don't know.
Like you could be a fan, but do you go to a show?
No, but you're asking the wrong person. I only go to shows if I can take pictures at them.
Well, say he can let you take pictures. Would you go to a Riff?
Oh, I'd 100% go to a Riff Raff.
Actually, that'd probably be really good to like take photos at.
100%.
I like his style. I like everything about him. He's like a unique personality.
He used to have insanely funny vines. Like when Vine was popping,
I can see it.
R.I.P. Vine.
Yeah, his Instagram's good. I follow his Instagram.
Oh my gosh, his best one that still comes back every season is he's in the car and he's got his phone and he's like swaying. He goes, "It's summertime."
That's it. That's
it. And the other one that's very funny. He goes. He's got these like huge grills, like shark teeth, and he's like, "My main goal is to blow up, then act like I don't know nobody." He just
fair enough. I get it.
I
should have seen it. Probably would have been funner on Vine.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, I'll definitely send you these, but I honestly don't know how to describe. You just need to listen to a Riff Raff album.
All right, you listen to Theo. I'll listen to Riff Raff. I already like Riff Raff, but I want you to listen to more Theo.
Anyways, fuck one, kill one, marry one. You got Joe Rogan, Theo, and Riff Raff. That's a pretty solid.
Should we take Riff Raff out and put Elon Musk in?
All right.
That's another one of my
I wish Elon Musk had a podcast,
dude.
I know he was on Joe Rogan. I listened to it.
Another Rogan epic, dude. He crashed his stock 12% after he appeared on Rogan. Smoked a little joint, crashed his stock, bounced it back up.
He got a text during it.
Yeah, while he was doing it, like my people are, dude. He's got people handlers, like.
But he's a. I
Dude,
watched.
anything he does, like him drinking
He wants
fucking Gatorade.
He wants to
will raise
nuke
the stock.
Mars.
Yeah, to warm it up. It's too cold.
Yeah. Well, Luke was telling me, he's like, you have to nuke the North Pole and the South Pole above it to like.
So he's not saying
even out-
nuke it. So what he would say, he's actually like clarified that you would set an explosion in upper atmosphere that would mess with like creating an atmosphere.
to like create
because there is no atmosphere. It's too thin. Like the atmosphere is too thin. So you
Oh, I
need
don't
to build it up so it'll have a greenhouse effect.
It
The
is.
opposite of what we're trying to do here. We're trying to eliminate greenhouse. There we would want greenhouse.
create it.
Anyway, so which by the way, he had a presentation last week or 2 days ago. You didn't watch it? Starship. Big
Oh,
silver
I saw
rocket.
it.
You've seen pictures of it.
I saw it on Twitter. I didn't watch the
Giant silver starship
Yeah.
going to Mars. The thing's incredible.
huge.
Okay. Marry, kill.
Yeah.
Fucking A, dude.
You got your boy Joe
Damn.
Rogan.
Well, Joe Rogan's a fucking beast in the gym, bro. He's probably got a piece on. Probably. No, he's. I don't know, man. This is difficult. Fuck. Elon's got money. $20 billion man.
Bro.
Damn,
and
this is tough. Who do I want to stay with? Who'd make me laugh? Theo.
Who's
Who's gonna hold me tight at night? Who's gonna warm
who's
me
gonna
up on
keep you
cold
secure?
nights?
Who's gonna keep you
No,
secure?
man. Marry Elon, obviously. $20 billion.
All right. So you're a gold digger.
Fuck yeah. Fuck, keep me home.
Maybe he'll slide you a flamethrower too.
Dude, this is an odd question. I like all three of them, bro.
I
don't know.
think you're almost there.
If I'm gonna kill somebody though, like who do I hate them or love the least? Damn, that'd be tough. I
Yeah,
couldn't
it's not
kill
who do you
Theo.
hate, it's who
It'd
do-
have to be Rogan. I'd have to kill Rogan.
You'd have to kill Rogan.
Yeah.
Your boy Joe Rogan that you.
And then Theo, technically, he's got a mullet, bro. You flip him around. Closest to a feet. He kind of, you know what? He says he's a neutral lesbian. He's technically he dresses like a neutral lesbian. Like he's halfway lesbian, bro.
I've been told.
Theo's halfway lesbian.
I've been told I dress like a lesbian.
He's probably
too.
the most
Okay, so-
female-esque. So kill Rogan, have a relationship with Theo, and marry Musk for his
Elon.
money. I think that's the safest bet.
That sounds pretty
I think
solid.
it's safe. If you're gonna put that weird predicament on me,
I wanted to see if you would run with it, and you not only ran with it, but you
took it in stride.
great segment.
All right, now you all. Let me pick one for you. Let me pick a.
Okay, yeah, hit me.
I'm trying to think. What do you? Okay, your podcast. Go ahead. Give me a rundown of yours. I'm not
Rundown.
gonna make you
Run down on my podcast.
fuck, marry, and kill dudes in your podcast like that weird ass question you asked
Lately, I've really been rocking with this podcast. It's called The Teacher's Lounge, and it's like an improv, narrative based. It's insane. Like there's seasons they like it's super short. It's like 8 episodes a season. First season they were in a school. Second season they blew up that school. Third
It's
season,
like a show, but podcast form.
yeah, and it's like, and for when I first tuned into it, I was like, this is real. I was like, this is.
So it's got characters, multiple voices.
Yeah, so it's literally just these four guys in a improv group,
Mm-hmm.
and they just made 4 characters, and they just make a whole story, and they have guests on, and each guest will be like a different character pertaining to like the narrative that they're going for that season. So
Okay.
like when they were in the school, like they had a school nurse, they had a janitor, they had a student, like just the most random shit, and it's so funny. Like the last season that I listened to, they died, went to hell, and the devil let them out on work release in a mall.
Oh, so are they ad-libbing? I mean, are they?
I don't know. It's amazing. And I finished it, and I'm all caught up, and I'm so sad because I binged it for like 2 months.
Let me ask you this, slightly off topic. Impractical Jokers. You ever watch that show?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan at all. Don't even start talking to me about it. Hate it. But Theo did have one of the guys on Practical Jokers on. Only reason I'm asking you is because what were we talking about? Different voice. Oh, improv.
Yeah.
And that's what your podcast is. Is it improv story, like improv, like on the spot?
Yeah.
Is that what this is?
So I listened to some of the behind the scenes. So what I guess they do is they pick out what they want their story for the season to be.
Story arc. And they just
And they're like, okay, we're going to get from this point to this point. Doesn't matter how we get here.
fill it in.
Yeah. And I guess they'll pick like, oh, I want my character to do this in this episode. I want my character to do this. And there's 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all kind of just like
And they're not telling each other.
No, they're all like So the rule of improv is yes and then like you. So
add on to the last person's story.
yeah. So there's like 3 people who are like, oh, and you did this, right? And they're like, oh yeah, I actually did. And it's so funny when they're like, so I've learned like a lot about improv from this show, and it's funny when they like, no, I didn't do that, because everybody stops for a minute and they're like laughing. They're like, because you're not supposed to do that. So they're like, you're throwing
a wrench in it.
They're throwing a wrench in it, but they're all like, it gets so crazy to the point
What
where
is it
like,
called again?
The Teacher's Lounge.
Teacher's Lounge. Okay, I'll put that on.
So like it's not like the first season is about them being teachers, and I'm on the 9th season I just finished, and they talked about working in a mall, and I'm like, what does this have to do with teachers? And okay, so I really like that.
Spell.
The Teacher's Lounge.
Teacher's Lounge. I'm gonna tell you right now if this is a good pod. What's the thumbnail?
That one.
Subscribe.
So the Teacher's Lounge, that's the one I've been really rocking with
Welcome
lately.
back for the first time with the original.
Yeah,
okay.
so if you listen to this season, oh god, it's so funny.
All right, I'll listen to that tomorrow.
So Teacher's Lounge I've really been rocking with, and then the big one that got me into podcasts was these two guys I used to watch on YouTube. You know what College Humor is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not that fucking old.
I don't know.
34, bro.
I don't know.
College Humor, Barstool, those guys were all my age. Okay,
well, like in high school, I would be like, oh, I saw this.
Ferrell founded College Humor. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yes.
No, he did Funny or Die.
Funny or Die, but I think College Humor he's invested in.
Anyways, I would ask people in high school, be like, oh, I saw this video on College Humor.
That was pre-YouTube.
Like, what's that?
College Humor was pre-YouTube. College Humor and what was that? Shock or something like that. What was the website where everybody got their like stupid ass footage from? Like really stupid.
Oh,
what am I thinking?
Live Leaks?
Live Leaks was one.
Didn't they shut that down?
They did. They had some like.
Aren't you thinking of
World Star? All sorts. All that shit pre-YouTube.
Yeah.
And now it's all on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, but continue.
So I used to watch them, and I would ask people. The only reason I ask, I don't think you don't know. I just would ask people in high school, be like, oh, I saw this video on College Humor. They'd be like, what's that?
Isn't that funny? But they couldn't watch that clip till they got home and went online.
Yeah.
Like you could just. Well, actually, in high school, you guys did.
Yeah, high school. Yeah, we had.
Me, you would talk about it in freshman year and go home. The kid would watch it when he got home.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I used to watch them. They had like a little like comedy show.
Yeah.
So
I think they did. Yeah.
So the two guys I watched were Jake and Amir. So like I watched all of their videos. They were, and then they wound up.
I remember these guys. I do remember.
Yeah.
These guys.
So Jake and Amir had their show, and I loved the fuck out of it. Like that. What used to make me laugh in high school. So I guess I was a weird kid because I would.
Stop. Hold on. I gotta turn this off.
Pause.
No, go ahead.
Pause. So what used to make me laugh in high school, I would go home, watch all of these videos, memorize them, like memorize the lines, and then I would talk to people at school and just quote them. But
so you would have good content to give people in awkward conversations.
No. It would be a regular conversation, and I would throw this thing in from left field, and people would just look at me. They'd be like, okay.
And that's
in my head, I was like,
you got
this
your
is
kicks
so
doing
funny.
it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's funny.
I get it.
So they wound up, once they stopped on YouTube, they like ended that. They started a podcast, and it was like it wasn't a relation. It was an advice show.
Yeah.
So people would email them in, ask them questions, and they're comedians. So what they would do for the first 10, 15 minutes.
They just rip each other apart?
They rip the person apart who sends them an email. Like the person's just like, me and my girlfriend are kind of having a tough time, and like,
and they'll be like, nice shirt, buddy.
Yeah, they'd be like, fuck, break up with your girlfriend and go date her mom. And it'd be like stuff like that. Shit. And it's so funny.
That's what King of this Thing is, Theo and Brendan. So
it's an advice show?
It's a what do they call it? It's crowdsourced questions. One of them's like flaunt my aunt, where somebody will send in a picture of their aunt, and they'll be like, bro, fucking Aunt Betty's pretty hot, dude. Look at the rack on her, just stupid shit.
Who's sending in pictures of their aunt? That's so weird.
King of this Thing.
No,
top like 5 podcasts right now.
I'll check it out.
I don't know how you're in the field
because I get very deep into holes like the past 2 months, like my podcast feed is so backed up with like a bunch of episodes because the only thing I've been listening to is the Teacher's Lounge.
I gotcha. I keep it in like a 5-pod rotation.
Oh my god, no! I was getting bad. Like people talk about, like, oh yeah, I would watch this show and this show. I would binge like six podcasts at a time, and I'm like trying to keep all these storylines straight.
By the way, what are you watching when you're not listening to podcasts? What are you watching on Netflix right now?
I don't watch anything on Netflix.
Not one show.
No.
13 Reasons. Then
I read the book 13 Reasons in high school.
Dude, 13 Reasons was good, and then it got real weird beginning of season 3 because they tried to do like the school shooter theme. I'm glad they dropped it because they were just cringy as hell.
Well, I don't
It's gotten better.
I don't understand how they went to a second season because I read the book.
Spoiler alert: girl kills herself first season.
Well, I know that
3 years ago. So yeah.
Well, that's
first.
That's how the book is.
First
the book
season
starts with
was the Hannah girl, 13 tapes, whatever.
Yeah.
But obviously the show was doing well. They wanted to make money. Season 2 revolved around like the implications of that, the court hearing, what happens after the fact, like the fallout from this girl killing herself.
Oh, they went into that.
So season 2 was the fallout, and then by season 2, you're like, all right, we get it. 2 years ago, this girl killed herself. What else?
Yeah.
And now they went into like school shootings, and now they're doing like a murder, like one of the kids died.
What?
I'm following it. It's pretty good. Anyways.
Yeah.
But you don't watch any Netflix.
No. Like how you are with music is how I am with the last thing I watched on Netflix was not The Office.
Yeah, there's some good stuff like Ozarks is great. Ozarks is fantastic.
I don't even remember the last. Maybe Parks and Rec.
So you're just rewatching like TV shows that are on Netflix.
Yeah.
I got you.
I've been watching. I still have to get in. I still have to finish My
Game of
goal.
Thrones.
My goal is to finish Game of Thrones within the year.
My problem with everything right now is everything's too good. Everything is too fucking good.
Yeah.
Content is like you don't have enough time in the day to watch good shit. Like I can tell you 10 things to do right now, 5 comedians to follow, and 2 movies to watch.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do any of it because you have no fucking time to do your own shit.
That's why I like podcasts because you can do 2 things at once. Like I can
If you have a long drive or you
Yeah.
do something like ride your bike for 2 hours every morning.
Yeah.
Perfect.
hop on that. Like you can't watch a TV show and work on something. You can't because
You can watch it passively, but Game of Thrones you can't.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones you
Like,
have
you're
to
not-
actively watch it.
you could do that with like The Office.
Yeah,
where, like, it's
Office,
something-
Friends, or whatever you can have on the back.
Yeah, but something like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Everything everybody told me, you need to sit down, you need to pay attention,
for sure.
and that's like,
Dude,
an
you
hour
can't
and a
even
half.
like bullshit with your girlfriend, man.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
Like there's
Watching
names
this right
and
now.
a bunch of names, and
Yeah.
people dying, and this person is this person's sister and dad. And
Dude, get used to
cousin.
like, oh, you're watching it right now, but get used to like hitting the pause button and your girl being like, what just happened to fucking Hodor? What happened to? You know?
Oh my gosh, I need to
Did you
watch
get to that
it.
point yet?
No, I haven't watched it.
You haven't watched any?
No, I haven't even started. That's what I'm saying. Like that's my goal is to start it because I have too many podcasts to listen to. Now that I finished the Teachers Lounge, I have my like other podcasts to catch up.
So that's the question. So do people have enough time to ingest like new podcasts? Say this podcast or anybody who's coming up now, because podcast is the new hot thing to do.
Yeah.
YouTube, it'll still be a dominant killer in the media space, but people are making if you have YouTube, you've got a podcast.
Yeah.
If you're a guy with a couple bucks, you buy a couple microphones, you have a podcast.
Yeah, I don't
Do
know.
you think there's any space for it?
I don't know. I guess if it's funny enough, if it's interesting enough,
Right.
if people want to listen to it, like if people, like, I know people will listen to this only because,
Well, people who know us.
people who know us would be like, oh, let
Listen.
me give it a listen.
Right, right.
But not like I don't think it's gonna do.
It's not going to
Like
do numbers.
Joe
We're not-
Rogan's
we're
numbers.
Not doing stamps.com advertisements or anything on this,
Yeah.
dude. We're not. Yeah.
I don't think it'll do
By
that.
the way, we should sponsor. Vreeland should sponsor this podcast to start. Vreeland Market, or maybe Don Dwellings by Rudy and Hall. Maybe
If you need
shout
a
out.
house,
if you
shout
need-
out to
if you-
Donnie.
Yeah, if you need to buy or sell a home in the Downriver metro area, Donnie by Rudy and Hall.
Donnie's Craft Beer Corner coming out every Friday.
Oh yeah,
Make sure
you're
you
doing
check
that
those
too
out
now.
on
You're doing
Facebook.
that. Yeah. So let's plug a few things that you're doing, man.
All right, so we got Donnie's Craft Beer Corner. We got Vreeland Market. Oh my God, we never even talked about you losing your job.
I was hoping to avoid that
That's
conversation.
what I wanted to talk about.
I was hoping to distract you long enough to be like, oh, is it time to wrap this whole thing up, dude?
I'll ramble for days. Damn.
All right, let's touch on it for a second, I
Anyways,
guess.
So we talked about all the stuff. Maybe it's good that we're talking about Netflix and podcasts and do people have enough time?
I'm going to have a
today?
lot of time to watch Netflix.
You're about to have a lot
I'm going to
of
have
time.
about like 10 months of time to watch Netflix. No, the opposite, man. I'm trying to be like you. I'm trying to not be distracted.
I'm the most distracted person. I just have enough things to distract me to make it look like
You
I'm
had,
productive.
you had enough today, and you were like, let's do a podcast too. Let's throw that in.
Yeah, might as well.
And speaking of which, in 12 minutes, I have to go to the gym. So let's wrap this up.
All right, we can do 12 more minutes. Wait, I thought you went to the gym.
No, I didn't. You distracted. I was working on the rafters and got distracted. And I
So
was
I
like,
could have came here sooner.
Yeah, I was here the whole time. No, but you couldn't have because I was working.
Oh, I was sitting
gonna
in
cut that out.
I was sitting in the Wendy's parking
That's where I
lot.
make money.
True.
This is where I fuck around.
So that's your plan. So since you're gonna be unemployed, you're not gonna.
I like to call it early early retirement into entrepreneurship. I think that's a nicer way to say unemployed. Very incredibly early retirement.
Very, very early into retirement.
Without retirement pay.
Perfect. So that's what you're going to be doing? You're going to be doing the...
so I'm scaling up all my little businesses. The few of the things I don't got to mention here, but I'm scaling up a few of my small businesses, expanding my YouTube, which, by the way, I don't want to boast or brag, bro. Did you see it?
No, what are we at now?
What
are you at?
What's half of 1,000? Is there like a name for it?
Half of 1,000?
I'm at 500 subs, bro. No, but I thought there was, how like there's Century and like this and that. I thought there was something for like 1,000. Is there one for 1,000?
1,000 is like...
I'm sounding like an idiot, but I think there's a term for 1,000.
No.
Half a ton. I'm half of a ton of subscribers.
I was going to say a ton is 2,000.
Right. So I'm half a ton.
A quarter of a ton.
I'm a quarter ton subs, bro. I'm a quarter ton. That's what I'm going to call them. A quarter ton. That sounds like a lot.
Okay.
Here's the thing also. So you have 100 subs. That does sound, it does sound very impressive. Because if you think about it, people look, in today's world, 100,000 subs, 1 million subs, that's the numbers people think when they think YouTube.
Yeah.
That's because that's when you're making money, right?
Yeah.
But if you actually think about it, take 100 people, put them in a room.
That's a movie theater.
Put them in a room, yeah. All those people push that button to say, I want to follow this dude. And when he puts out content, I want to watch it.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's a packed theater.
Like,
that's probably more than a packed theater.
And think about it, like people who actually watch YouTube videos, I watch dozens and dozens a day. I don't subscribe to 95% of them. I'll watch a great video.
Yeah.
Very cool, man. Next video. Very cool, dude.
Yeah.
But once in a while, you'll catch me. I'll hit that sub button.
Yeah.
So for like 100 people to hit that sub button or 500 people to hit that sub button, like means a fuckload. That means a lot to me. So that's awesome.
So what is the... So if you want to... So you're going to be scaling up your small businesses. We're not going to talk about that, but that's one of the plans. Right. You want to be doing the YouTube stuff. What's the plan for the channel then? What's the plan for your channel?
Dude,
what do you want to be
The plan for the channel is how this podcast has gone. It's all over the place, and I'm trying to like find it as I go. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to do everything, trying to hit on all the points that I'm into, that I like doing.
Yeah.
And then like listen to my audience, also like listen to myself, because to scale up you have to listen to your audience. The comment section is going to control your YouTube channel to a point. You don't want to just completely be fan led, but not fan, just follower led.
Yeah.
Well, it's all the stuff I'm interested in.
So like what? Like what are like cuz we've talked about the doc, doing the doc, and I still want to do it.
That's the problem I'm having, the struggle I'm having is like I have these little mini video ideas that I want to do that don't really align with my like brand or whatever, but I want to put them up. But I don't want to like scare away subs that have like my channel's like I don't know. Right now it's
more
like
tutorial.
It's tutorial based. It's very like how to create apparel, how to like wrap cars, how to do like it's how to's right now, right?
Yeah.
But it's also like how to start a brand. It's gonna go into like creating a brand and how to grow it, how to scale it, which hopefully I'll figure that out. But learn as I go. So I'm gonna document it, post it up, and if it's interesting, cool. If it's not, cool.
See, like I think that'd be cool for a doc. But to me, looking at it, already have done a doc. It's I mean that's what you said. It's a longer process, and it's one video after.
Yeah, do you break it up into bite-sized portions and put it up?
So you can
15-minute blanks at a time?
So you could. That's one way to do it. That's actually the idea that I have for my next movie that I want to do.
Okay.
So like I want to do another narrative thing, and I guess people liked that I did Fuck It because it was my story.
Right.
So me being the non-creative person that I am, I can only talk about what I know. So that's me. I can only talk about myself. So what I think I'm going to do is do this long story about me, but break it up into
digestible chunks.
And I want to like let one chunk here, so like people can see like maybe 1, 2, 3 pieces, and then let the whole thing go, and then you see the pieces that you saw in it as like a scene. That's where my head is. But if we're gonna do this doc, I want to do it. I still want to do a doc.
I'm good with it. And I can sprinkle that into my channel or your channel. But yeah, that's the direction, scaling that up. But so here's the problem with YouTube right now is if you want to grow, you have to follow the algorithm, which right now the algorithm favors tech reviewers, unboxings, tutorials, which I've seen a little bit of success from my tutorials too. Like some of mine have like
Yeah.
Got some views,
what was
got
the
me
one,
some
like-
subs. I'm at like 15,000 on one of my videos, which to me, a freaking new YouTuber, I'm pretty excited
Yeah.
about. But are those real subs? Are those people who are like, if I put like a personal piece of content up, are they gonna watch it? Probably not.
No,
because they're there for that
it's
specific.
It's like a
piece.
tutorial thing, like you said.
So am I gonna scare away that sub? Or am I just going to put out more stuff that I know is going to work? Like, oh, I keep doing these. Like, hell, I could just do unboxing videos all day and probably rack up a few thousand, views or whatever. But like you said, you don't want to just put up shit for the sake of putting up content. You want it to be something you want to watch.
Yeah.
And even me, like, I'll watch some of my videos. I'll be like, this is cringe. And I'll pause it just because you don't like watching yourself on camera.
Yeah.
But also, the content I put up, I'm not 100% proud of yet.
Yeah, and I think that comes with just putting out a bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. To me, that's because even this, I've been wanting to do this for how long have I been saying that I want to do this?
Pod in general, or just this specific pod?
Like podcasting in general.
Oh yeah.
Like
Years.
I've always been saying it,
Right.
and I think I sat around and I'm like sitting in front of a notebook, like, okay, I want it to be this. I want to do this. I want to do this, but like I don't think you can do that because I don't know. Maybe you can. I can't because to me, the more I sit and think about like, oh, I need to hit this point.
Yeah.
The more I'm gonna sit there and like,
dude, we
overthink it.
Before this thing, we sat down, tried to hit high points of what we're gonna talk about. I'm just like, dude, let's just go into it and we'll just flesh it out.
Come in here and turn it on.
Yeah.
So I think with you, especially starting and how you want to start, I think you just gotta start put a tutorial video and then put a vlog, put this and maybe all three.
You can blend both. You can
maybe
blend
all
them.
three hit.
But some people like you to just jump into the meat of tutorial. They don't want to hear about what you're doing
your
or what
day.
your day is. They just want to know they're little. Because even me, I'll jump through a video, get to the piece that I want to learn, and turn it off. Right?
Yeah.
And you'll get that. Mm-hmm. But
I don't know.
Figure it out as we go.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you come up with.
Do you want to plug our YouTubes here?
So all right, Edmonds is gonna be in the description.
Yeah.
Hit it. The links
Just
are gonna
my
be in
name,
the show
Edmon
notes.
Jiddou, Antonio Kanja.
Tone Time. I got that. That's the one thing that I'm proud
Your channel
of.
is Tone Time, right?
Yep. Go to youtube.com/Tone Time and you will
your
see me.
Specific
Hell
URL.
yeah. So that's the only thing I ever wanted, and I got it.
So when do I find out how this contest goes? So how many people are you going to interview here?
So I don't know.
This is your first episode. So what you've
That's
got
kind of the deal. We're gonna see how this goes.
and all kinds of different people, not just people losing their jobs.
Yeah. No, you're the first one losing your job.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah. So that's what I wanted to ask. How do you think this went? Think it went good? You think we could maybe do this again or?
I'm going on a second date. We can do a second date.
Well, I guess we'll see you next time.
Later.
Well, that's all, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time. A Tone Time production.